Ah, Contra, Spem, Spero. Oh, look at this art style. Yeah, we need to up the brightness here, please. Cursor's hand or basic? Sure, hand is fine. Notes, if you want to zoom in on a photo, zoom in on a photo's text. Scroll, okay. This one has riddles. Okay. Alright. Okay. I think I broke it. Help! Oh, shit. Oh. Alright, well. It's not letting me click anything. Oh, shit. Alright. New game. Wait, why isn't it capturing the game? Hold on. Game capture really letting me down here. Alright, the goddamn car broke down again. I did check all the parts before leaving. They were working fine then and are now, but it won't start. I can't just wait, not this time, just in case I forget anything important. I'll use my journal and camera as always. Now I have to grab the backpack and go find some help. The essentials, my wallet, driver's license, and flashlight are in my pockets. Flashlight in your pocket? The gas station shouldn't be too far from here. I remember that. I decided to go down the road. I've got Polaroid paper, plus 40, water bottle. There we go. Water bottle, pocket knife, wallet, driver's license, flashlight. Okay, go down the road. First clearing. The road disappeared. I was walking straight forward without turning, and it vanished right under my feet, replaced by bare ground. The moment I realized that, I headed back, but still couldn't find it. I'm surrounded by trees. It looks like I got deep into the forest. Some glowing orange eyes have been following me for a while. If it's an animal, it's a really big one, and I don't want to get to know it better. There's no point in staying in one place either. I decided to proceed further. Oh my god. The road, let's see, I decided to proceed deeper into the forest. After wandering around for a while, I happened to find a flare gun, as if purposely hidden between some tree roots that I tripped over. Could someone actually leave it here? Why? I took it in case there was also flares to be found somewhere near. I feel tired already. The path I'd been following had also disappeared. No sign of it anywhere. Night has come, the darkness is overwhelming, and the reading light doesn't quite help. I can't believe this forest was always this deep. There's not much I can do right now. Okay. Notes. Inventory. Alright. Oh my god. I decided to rest beside the nearest tree and feel less tired. Not sure if I should wait here till morning just to see anything. The path I'd been following had also disappeared. Night has come, the darkness is overwhelming, and the reading light doesn't quite help. There's nothing much I can do right now. I can't believe this forest was always this deep. What in the actual hell was that? The moment I let my guard down, I heard some screeching, had to run away blindly, and ended up losing a thing or two. When I realized exactly which of those things were, I was about ready to lose my mind. If I can't find them later, I swear to God. I lost my wallet, my driver's license, and my flashlight. I decided to examine my surroundings. This forest is full of wild animals. I feel as if my every move is being watched. I changed my mind about staying in one place. It may be too dangerous, especially in such a conspicuous one. How ironic, I find myself in a clearing. Wish the road were right behind that tree line. I think I see someone standing next to it. Reading light is just a baby light. Yeah, it's just like a little plug-in fucking nightlight. If I call out, this person won't be the only one to know my location. I got an idea. The flash may attract their attention. But I don't have a flashlight. I decide to take a photo. It did! Looked like they waved at me. When I got closer as carefully as I could not to make too much noise, the silhouette became more vague. I asked in a whisper if they knew how to get out of here. There was no response. I'll glance at that photo to make sure I didn't imagine things, and I'm not talking to a human-shaped tree snag. I decided to look closer at the photo. New one, you're gonna die in here, fool. You're gonna die. He's mine. Fresh meat, don't run. Pointless. Shush, boss is here. Pass out. One of the options is just to fucking pass away. New one, you're gonna die in here, fool. You're gonna die. He's mine. Fresh meat, don't run. Pointless. Shush, boss is here. What do we do? Do we pass out or do we fight? Run away? You should have wished for a better ending. What? Yeah, I fucking sucked at that one. Speed run! Man, what was I supposed to pass out there? Alright. Also, why the fuck did we get out of our car? Okay, we shouldn't have got there. I decided to go down the road. I don't want to get to know it better. Proceed further. Yeah. So we should not stop. We should not stop. That is a bad idea. I continued walking but couldn't see a damn thing. Even if there were anything useful, I wouldn't notice it. My main focus was not to trip over again and die early. So I moved very slowly and was getting nowhere. I kept walking anyways. The fatigue's almost palpable. I don't understand why it got so bad so quickly. Nothing changed around me. Maybe I should wait till morning. What the actual hell was that? The moment I let my guard down, I hear some screeching. Had to run away blindly. God damn it, so regardless, we end up fucking... God damn it. Follow wild animals. Flash may attract them. I decided to take a photo. Yeah, new one, you're gonna die. Okay, so do not run away. You know what? You know what? We're gonna fight him. You should have wished for a better ending. Fuck! God damn it. Take a photo. Look closer at the photo. So pass out? Pass out is the surviving fucking thing? Passing out is our only option that saved us? I decided to... Well, I didn't. I just passed out. When I regained consciousness, I still couldn't understand what happened exactly. What was that? The last thing I saw was those orange eyes I'd already spotted earlier. I felt too scared and weightless to do anything. An old man brought me back to my senses. He said something about being trapped in this forest for a long time too, but I didn't... Actually, I don't know if I can believe myself at the moment. He's leading me somewhere where it's always safe. I had no choice but to follow. He said they'd come back if I refused, and also commended my ability to deftly record things in any condition. I'm well aware of its value. Still, I prefer to think events through before writing them down, even if sometimes it's even more complicated than doing that at once. Follow the old man. We reached a camp. The tents here are obviously handmade, but look neat. The man introduced himself as Rob. He gave me a folded paper sheet and said, "Here, take the thing. Maybe you'll find a better use for it than I did. Don't forget your old man when you find a way out of here, huh? I sure hope you will." There was another one inside, but empty. The first one turned out to be a shabby hand-drawn map. Did he really depict the forest in it? Perhaps I should use my cam more often to have at least some idea of my surroundings and check it, hopefully. But not to overdo it. I still only have a few pieces of Polaroid paper left. Or I could just wait till morning. Not that I feel safe in the presence of another human. He's still strange after all. I decided to take a photo. The boss is here. Is he the boss? When I took the photo, Rob got closer and said, "What you got there, a camera?" Looked like an owl to me. Bizarre photos you have there, buddy. Your cam has a flash, huh? I ain't seen one when you took me a picture. I ain't seen one when you took me a picture. That's the way light works here. Or doesn't. Who knows? Depends on what the forest wants you to notice. That could come in handy. So cling to that thing. I doubt his ability to give valuable advice, but I'll keep it in mind. Moreover, the thing was too expensive to buy and not cling to. I decided to get some sleep for my sanity's sake. I decided to sleep till morning in one of the tents. Rob, obligingly, thank you, suggested, "Perhaps this place won't be so gloomy in the daylight and I'll be able to get out faster." When morning came, there was no light. Pitch darkness just as before, covered everything around me. Rob was sleeping near the fire. I woke him up and asked what was going on. He said, "There's no light in my misery. Yours doesn't have it either?" And went back to sleep, without further explanation. Guess I'm gonna need to figure it out by myself for now. Alright, I decided to talk to Rob. I asked him about the creatures I saw before passing out. He answered right. Some indeed call them creatures. You see, buddy, it's a lot of different folk in here, not only creatures. I call them pups, personally. Wicked pups. There are more clever ones, shadowy ones. Those things in the sky and those under the water. And here are friendly ones like you and I. But most of our kind just vanish so quickly, ain't get a chance to know 'em better. Luckily you stumbled upon me so soon. I didn't dare object. I asked about the forest. He answered it's a cruel one. I was even younger than you are now when I got stuck in this prison of a forest. Can you imagine that? I never wanted to last so long when I was free, but something makes me hold on to life here. Still, it's nice to sometimes meet other folks here, even if they don't stay for quite as long. That's why I hope you'll be the one to finally find a way out, and surely let me leave this place too. I don't want to die here and become one of them. What's wrong with this place? I decided not to waste time and explore the forest further. As I was leaving the camp, Rob called out to me and asked, "Since you're all set to go, would you maybe bring me my ladle? I lost the thing very recently and can't stop thinking about it. Can't stir me no good apple soup without that." Why apple? Because it's all you can find to eat in here, damn it. I lost it not so far from here. Just the next place marked on the map after my camp. And you probably have better eyesight, so I'm sure you can do that. Me, I can't see a thing here. Oh, bring me some wood if you happen to find any. Though I have plenty in stock, I made sure that. Chop chop. All these years just like that. But be careful out there with the folks. It's crawling with them everywhere. And return here to rest from time to time. You gotta keep your progress in mind, yeah? And it ain't possible with no good sleep, unless you're keen on pointlessly making the same mistakes over and over again. Not sure what that meant. Anyways, I better check the map now. Map? We're here. And this is where we need to go. Oh. The map Rob gave me looks somewhat weird and awfully simplified. I'll see if it's accurate. Hope I'll be able to find my way back to the camp when I'm done. It took me some time to reach a new place. I assumed it was the one depicted on the map because of a dilapidated swing-like contraption lying around a tree. Upon closer inspection, I realized it was more likely some kind of broken animal trap. Sharp stakes chaotically stuck in the ground nearby. Only backed up my guess. Now I have to find what I was asked to. I believe it'd be better to stick to certain tactics if I want to take care of it quickly and get out of the forest with extra help. Apart from the camp, the forest is plunged into total darkness, but generally I'm able to distinguish more or less of the surroundings and search around with no light at all. I'd capture everything at once to be sure I didn't leave anything important behind, but I have to manage my Polaroid paper as I don't know how much I'll need. Rob and those things definitely won't have some to lend me, will they? I decided to look around and take a photo. Okay, I decided to take a photo. Don't know how to explain it properly, but after going off, the flash of my camera seems to freeze in time, or create an invisible light source that illuminates the surroundings, even if only faintly, for a much longer period than it's supposed to. All the nearest objects stay visible to me somehow. I decided to look around. I soon spotted the ladle almost glowing because of its metallic texture. It was weird to say the least, having a neck too wide for the bowl to be suitable for containing liquid. Handmade too? I also noticed a cage trap with something barely visible inside. It was closed, and there was a set of buttons on either side, likely used to unlock it. Yet, I didn't know the right combination. I decided to leave. I left. Okay. Alright. Riddles. I have 37 still. Do I go give him his ladle? Or does he want wood? Let's go give him his ladle. Hey. Ladle. I emptied half my backpack trying to find the ladle, and when I finally did, Rob grabbed it out of my hand cheerfully and said, "Attaboy! I almost lost all hope by now. But you're a promising fellow. Look, there's another problem you absolutely have to help me with. I just want some apples, a bit more so I can make me some good soup. Bring them to me or else I'll soon faint from this damned hunger and won't be able to help you get out of here." Apples? I don't remember seeing a single apple tree around. I'll see what I can do. He suddenly pointed at the flare gun I found shortly after I got lost in the forest. "What are the odds? This is mine too, but no matter. You can have it if you wish, buddy. After all, I forgot I hid it there till you brought it back to me. And it's also broken. Well, thanks. I'll just leave it at the camp." Alright. I left. Alright, let's go to the forest area. Trails. All those failed traps made me paranoid about stepping in any others that might also still be present and still working around the forest. So I stared at the ground, determined to notice the smallest change in its texture, till I did. It wasn't a trap, however, but numerous thin trails lacking grass, as if something small had been dragged. I couldn't see how far. Finally decided to look up and around. Can't say if it's important, but I found a symmetrical group of dots, nearly unnoticeable on a tree bark. What could it possibly be? Put the journal down. After I took a photo, I noticed a battered paper sheet covered in sand under my feet saying, I like digging holes and hiding things inside them. When I grow all the hope, I won't forget to find them. Also, a few pits amongst the trails had tiny wildflower heads put in. The rest empty ones had only indentations of different kinds, round, square, and resembling small bottles. I decided to examine the trails. I crouched to examine the trails better. They led in different directions and were occasionally interrupted by shallow pits, the nature of which I couldn't define. They were too neat to be dug manually. I decided, what is this? What is it? Are these the trails? Let's see. It looks like a symbol, huh? Okay, let's take a better look at this. Alright, friends, remember this symbol. It's like a diamond with a straight line and two Y's on the side. I put one piece of Polaroid paper in a pit and immediately disappeared, sinking into the sand. Nothing else happened. Alright, I left. Okay. I approached what appeared to be a simple, half-demolished building. Diamond straight line and two Y's on side. Yeah, thank you. Despite the first impression, it turned out to be way more complex and crooked, with its uneven structure unnaturally extending straight into the thicket. When I stepped inside to check if I could find anything useful, something crunched loudly under my feet. It felt almost like a rock, but sharper. It froze. It may be dangerous to go further, especially blindly. I have enough Polaroid paper to take another photo. Okay. It was human bones. I stepped on one of the hundreds, fully covering the floor. Still had some meat on them. I sprinted out immediately, thinking the culprit might be in the building, and I didn't notice one in the darkness. Besides, I spotted something shiny amongst the remains when the flash illuminated them, but should I? I took a closer look. Apparently it was a palm-sized glass vial, hollow inside but entirely solid with no opening or cap. I took it with me despite it being useless. I decided to look around outside the building and by the entrance. Found nothing particular, except I did notice the ground was trampled in several different directions leading to the woods. Leave. I left. Okay. I guess we go back and rest. Let's get some sleep. Alright. And then leave. I left. And then to the new place. I'm moving through yet another cluster of trees, except these appear to be all thin, with leaves occupying their top only. The sky is barely visible here as well. Nothing. What was that sound? Like an animal roar? A painful one? Carefully followed the source. The poor thing is bent to the ground, groaning quietly. It's not so big, and I can't quite tell what kind of animal it is. I'll make sure before approaching it. Nope. Anything but that. It wasn't an animal. It resembles the creatures I saw earlier. Has a long, thin tail. Its body's unevenly covered with fur. The torso's dripping with something black, and one of its horns seemed to be broken off. Its lower jaw, I can't see it. Words appeared on the photo when I took it. I didn't immediately understand what that was. I decided to help. You said you wanted help. Okay. Another gullible idiot. What's these photos? You one lucky bastard to be able to hear me so. My bad. gets worse and I need souls to control myself. You do too, to escape. Bring 5 from the lake. I feel dizzy. It's difficult to understand what the little demon is trying to say. He seems interested in my journal, too, watching me closely as I write this down. He's probably as well surprised as I am by the fact I hear him speak using photos and not my ears. I could ask for details, but if the blank space on the Polaroid runs out, I might need to take another picture. Tried to talk to LD. Yet he shook his head when I tried to ask something and seemed to be in a hurry. When I was ready to leave, he passed me a handful of vials looking just like the one I found inside the ruined building, except a lot dirtier. I wonder if those are used for obtaining the souls or whatever he was talking about. I didn't get to ask him that. He's already gone where I came from. I don't see anything notable around except for a trail of blood starting where LD was lying and leading behind the bushes. I decided to leave. I left. You little shit. Alright, hey, can we talk about this? I asked Rob if he knew something about that little demon I stumbled upon and described his appearance. Rob said they're all no good scary things. This one's a spoiled nosy pup, always trying to get him attention, but I'd never deal with him. I've never been attacked here. Maybe the fire's scaring them off. Too risky to check, so I'll keep it burning all the time, you see. I decided to ask him about himself. He answered, "Yep, it's me. Been stuck in this hell of a forest for centuries, that's for sure. I ain't getting younger, you see. It becomes difficult to continue searching for a way out. I haven't seen another human in a long, long time. Guess he'll not be of much help." Alright. Can I sleep? I left. Can I sleep? I need to get to the lake. Where's the lake? There's the lake, I think. That looks like a lake. No, there's the lake. Holy shit. Thanks, Rob. At the end of the rope wrapped around one of them was hanging down invitingly. I reached it if I could jump. Probably expecting something extraordinary to happen, I decided to pull the rope. Most of it remained tightly fixed above. Well, if I ever need one, I could return there and cut some off. My chest began to hurt. I thought maybe it was because it was caused by yet another supernatural force disturbed by my actions, but no. I was simply hungry. I hadn't eaten for days, long before I got in this forest. Damn that stress. If things get worse, I could always check my backpack for some food. That is, if I ever find something substantial to eat. I have a water bottle and a pocket knife. I decided to... I'll just leave. I left. I don't want to waste all of my stuff. Those are the trails I see. I always feel like somebody's watching me. This time feels distorted in this forest. The sky is still dark, just like when I got here. Already growing close to one another, the trees around me became increasingly bent, to the point where their branches and even trunks intertwined, as if bowing in a dance. In the end, they formed a fairly steep climb, which was the only way to proceed. It had some gaps I couldn't see through because of the dense foliage. I decided to... avoid the gaps, use them as footholds. Do we want to use them as footholds? I decided to use them as footholds, and it worked out well. The way up was less challenging than I initially expected. Soon I was able to walk as the treetops leveled out, and I almost forgot those were not just unusual ground, partially because there was nothing particularly remarkable up high, despite the distance covered. I didn't see the sky clearly, but as a thin, vibrant blue line. The area was surrounded from both sides by even larger trees, unevenly towering over the other ones under me. I decided to take a photo. I wonder if there's something hidden underneath. All the leaves prevent me from confirming or denying, and the flash wasn't enough to dispel the darkness between them for some reason. I can't say if it was an illusion, a fault of my inattention or memory, but before I knew that, the trees under my feet were in fact replaced by ground. The thought made my head spin. I continued walking. Hey, goodbye, trees. Thicket. To top it all off, it started raining. I tried to concentrate on my surroundings and ignore the fact that I was soaked, as well as the noise around me. In an instant, a haunting sense of someone else's presence struck me. I turned around abruptly, trying to determine its source, and almost immediately, a gaze of glowing orange eyes met mine. The massive silhouette of their owner standing motionlessly, towering over me from a distance. Couldn't help but smack the cam shutter button immediately to capture it. Ugh! And so we meet. Speak to me if you will. There are no limits to my words. However, I do believe you are aware of those your memory has. Talk to Moth. I knew it was another whatever this thing is. It looks moth-like with those antennae and the cloak or wings. I'm not sure. It has 3 eyes and a face resembling a bony mask with an unnaturally wide mouth. I can't say if it's actually friendly or just pretending to be. I asked him about LD. He approved he was a human before turning into the creature he is now. He's a creature, a former human transformed after his death, in accordance with one of the 2 possible outcomes. Not the one he expected or wanted, that's for sure. I asked him about souls, but he didn't tell me much and said I was supposed to find out the details myself. That is what will become of you in the end if you remain unwilling to accept the fact your fate afterward will not be inevitable. The rest is not for me to say. Your outcome depends on how you choose to manage them, so make sure to learn what you can about them first before jumping to conclusions. Okay. What about Rob? I asked about Rob. He appears to be annoyed that he wants to escape the forest. An old fool that's still clinging to the hope of escaping. What a waste of time. I asked what he could tell me about the forest. I didn't understand a thing he said. Must say, I will never cease to be amazed by the variety of wonders universe provides us all with. Excuse me. It is simply that not everyone is able to observe and appreciate them. Forest is a self-replenishable vault for them. Would you not agree? Belongs to nobody, responsible but for one thing existing. Reality itself shifts constantly here. It tends to change what is intruding, complementing the completing the incomplete, shredding the perfection. I could talk about it all day, but it's always night, huh? Okay. I decided to leave. Okay. Let's see. Whole piles. When I first got close, however, those turned out to be whole piles of snakes, which caused me to immediately step away, bumping my back against the damned overgrown moth, who, surprisingly, hadn't yet killed me by then. I almost forgot he was there in all the silence. Okay. I noticed they're all motionless. Let's see. I checked the photo of Moth to see if he could still tell me anything else. He said there's no danger, and when I looked closer at the snakes, I noticed they were all motionless. Moreover, some were tied in a knot. Do not be afraid. We seem to hold no interest to them. Okay, I'll untie one then. Remember that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. You may need this. I reached for one when Moth suddenly stopped me with his vast hand, offering a tiny glass bottle filled with liquid, and another one. As I picked up the snake, I understood it was already dead. I carefully untied it nevertheless. I can't think of anything that could have caused this. Photo. Not a single one of the snakes is moving here. They seem frozen, their heads turned to the side and eyes peering at the sky. I reflexively lifted mine too, but noticed nothing unusual up there. I decided to leave. Moth nodded slightly and stayed where he was, so I could calm down a bit, knowing he was finally off my back. Until we meet again. Alright, let's go back to the camp and try to sleep. Can I sleep? Yeah. Rob said time to rest, huh? I asked Rob what he knew about Moth. He shook his head and said, well, ain't that one's a menacing fellow. Can't find a proper slipper against a bug that big. Nothing else. Alright, let's get some rest. I walked through the forest with Moss, passing a cliff, a swamp, dragging my feet through thorny plants. I feel safe as long as he's near, but he keeps disappearing and returning. In a clearing of tall grass and bushes, he warns me about snakes before disappearing again. I can't see anything under my feet at first. When I finally discern the glare of scales and snake eyes surrounding me, I dash to climb a tree. Each one breaks under my weight until I find one sturdy enough. Before long, something wraps around my arm and I fall into the snakes below. Instead of hitting the ground, I land in a dark, damp place. I'm trying to move as the space brightens. I am a fang of a giant snake, biting into thick, impenetrable skin. With each crunch, the snake fails, and I shatter piece by piece. Okay. I'm leaving again. Toodaloo. Fucking Mothman. At least Moth is nice. I slid into the next place on the map on a carpet of bent stems, roots, and grass. The ladder was slightly ticklish and clung to my clothes. But it didn't attach much importance to it then. At the bottom of the funnel-like space, there happened to be a freshly fallen tree, which I'm using now as a stopping point to write this down. Look at the tree. Decided to look at the tree, and my hand brushed against the velvet texture of a hat lying under the vegetation. Couldn't get a good look at it. It's still working. After I take a photo, the light stays while in the air. Around. How do I even explain this? I examined the find carefully. It was a small old black hat decorated with 2 fake roses and a pen with a precious blue stone. I decided to search the tree crown. Decided to check the tree crown and search between the branches before pulling out a bird's nest full of eggs. I took it with me to bring to the camp so Rob could look after the yet unhatched nestlings while I was gone. Is he gonna cook it? I left. Rob wouldn't cook it, right? Rob, you wouldn't cook this, right? Hey. I handed Rob the bird's nest found in the fallen tree and asked him to look after it since he usually stays at the camp, unlike me. He placed it on one of the boxes and said, I'll take care of them, all right. Okay, never mind. I decided to leave. Do I not get health back when I rest? That's a little discerning. Also, why didn't I take the hat? The wind picked up, carrying a deep, prolonged melody that overlapped with muffled pounding from somewhere below, like rain on a roof, but each time heard from a different side. I found myself among the dead trunks of a grove, similar to others I had already encountered on my way, except here the trees were especially old and marked by cavities, which were the source of those ringing sounds. Each time a new gust of wind came through them, they responded with a shaky hum. Oh no, I'm gonna have to remember this. Oh no. I think this is a puzzle. Riddles. The forest should, back there, meant to, right. Understand it's right one. Oh.
Fight me.
Seb. Help. Shit, I don't know how to go back to the journal. Sorry, thank you. Appreciate ya. Alright, so, let's figure this out. Alright, I need to... So, right, left, left... God, it's so many. 2, 3... Alright. That's 3 left, and then it starts right again. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, and then the rest on the right. And then how many for the last one? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right.
Welcome input 22.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. The place looks lifeless. Its gray surroundings pointlessly wobble under the unchanging night sky. If it rains, I have no place to take shelter, and the camp's too far to make it back quickly enough. All right. I tried to find something worthwhile. At some point, out of the corner of my eye, I saw one of the distant trees instantly and silently vanish into thin air. I'm still confused by my reaction. I felt strangely indifferent the entire time I was there, so I didn't pay the slightest attention to that. Instead, the ladder was drawn to a wet paper sheet lying on the ground. Where once was lying silence, wounded heart of sorrow full, aspiring thus to feel alive, embedded deep within. Okay. A seemingly incomplete poem was written on it. I doubted its value but wrote it down in a separate journal section, nevertheless. The previous empty folded paper sheet Rob gave me earlier, to be exact. For some reason, the ink just wouldn't stay on the paper beside it. I decided to leave. I left. Alright, so we have all these things listing, I guess the next one. Next place was reminiscent of a dull hollow, despite the slopes being not so steep or large enough to belong to one. At their base, where I was, there were no trees to the very horizon, or at least I couldn't see them. I invariably bumped into what I believed to be tree trunks every time I started to budge. It reeked of autumn there. Abundant falling leaves swirled around, disorienting me even more. I decided to take a photo so my body wouldn't suffer through any more bruises, but it was of no help. There are no trees in this hollow, but it doesn't prevent me from sensing their not so obvious yet definite presence. As for the leaves, it's like they're falling from the sky instead of rain. I also noticed a whole lot of ants circling on the ground here and there. Good thing I did that before crushing those of them still alive. Decided to look around. A gun! I decided to take the risk to look around the place. Sadly, among all the invisible trees, I did find a single invisible hint concerning how the fuck I was supposed to leave the forest behind at long last. But then I kicked something moving through a pile of dry leaves, and that something turned out to be a neat gun and 2 full magazines for it, all that carefully wrapped in a cloth. I'd recognize it anywhere. Smith & Wesson Model 39-2. I remember those being fresh on the market. I took it with me, of course. I didn't question how the gun could have ended up there then. And I don't question it now. It's not what matters most. I decided to leave. Feeling my way out of the hollow, I proceed. I got a fucking gun! Following the map gets pretty tricky. I mainly use the gaps between treetops to navigate between the places I discover, listing the areas where the sky is clearly, barely, and not at all visible, and arranging them in the right order to recall on the way back. All I can see aside from that is a bunch of pitch black silhouettes and shapes almost all the time. I noticed one resembling another building. When I got closer, it turned out to be an oddly looking long abandoned house, with a porch and everything. At that point, I wasn't sure I could stumble upon anything here, as if the forest had trapped not only people, but whole houses, cities, or whatever. I walked in and all the sounds died away. This place is all dusty. The boards are uncannily dry and pointy. There's someone standing right in front of me. I decided to take a picture. God fucking damn it. Are those things getting uglier on purpose? Well, this one is tall and slim and extremely pale with a long ghostly hood descending evenly over his body. The flash was not enough to illuminate the lower part of his face, neck, and abdomen. The vague dark clothing draped over his hip, fully covering his legs, its hem reaching the very floor. Do I know you? I decided to answer no. I decided to answer his question negatively, as it was the truth. He tilted his head slightly as if examining me. I think I'm not in danger, at least for now. He seems to have a particular interest in souls, too. Do I know you? Yet we could help each other. If you get souls, give them to me only, always. It is the only right decision to make. Talk to Slim. I asked him about Little Demon. He suddenly tensed up, so I took a few steps back, expecting an attack. But the distance between us stayed the same somehow, and he just let me understand that they didn't get along. Little Demon, huh? Fitting name. However, surely he got to you sooner than you came across me, isn't it so? And surely he tried to convince you to give him souls. Give souls to him. The bastard is not the one you should be listening to. You'll be doomed if you do. I'll be honest. I'm not aware of his exact intentions, but I am certain those can't be good. I asked him about Moth. I have no idea what he is. He means no harm, but provides little utility. Do not ignore him, nevertheless. Okay. Sanity. Your spiritism, the price to pay for communicating with the forest's victims. May be deadly if you overdo it. I won't affect it any further if you prove yourself worthy. By that, I mean you are to think through every decision thoroughly, especially if it's related to souls. Okay. They are literal human souls. To capture them, you need only awareness and vials. The cursed things are an automatic trap, no matter who the holder is. Okay. The concentration of gloomy beings in my life was high enough by that time, so I decided to take a look around the house. Can't say I was successful. The slim one glared at me so menacingly that I gave up after the first step. Not too eager to make him any angrier than he already seemed to be, I decided to leave. I left. Time to go home. Bye. Alright. Hey, Rob. As I returned, Rob walked up to me and said, "Fried me eggs. You want some?" The bastard. I decided to talk to Rob. I asked Rob what he knew about Slim. After thinking a little, he said, "Ain't sure about that one. You keep befriending all kinds of folks instead of seeking a way out, aren't you?" I asked Rob about spiritism, except I explained it to him in other words. He said, "Should have reminded me earlier. The thing's dangerous. That's why you don't want to speak to the folks. They're pulling the mind out of you. Not every one of them, of course, but the most. And if there's no speaking to hurt your mind, there are still sharp claws and teeth to hurt your body." I decided to get some sleep. I squeezed my way through a tangle of twisted trees. Before one last push forward, I slide back to where I started. Pinned beneath the tree trunks, I lie between their sprawling roots as dead leaves slowly drift down and layer by layer bury me along with any hope of ever being found. Okay, I'm headed out now. Creepy beach. Okay. How do I unlock the next place? We left, but where are we leaving to? Maybe we can go to the moth? I asked him about Rob. He appears to be annoyed that he wants to escape the forest. Hello? Alright. Wait, it's not letting me leave the camp? Never mind. I want to leave! Notes. Or once was laying silent, wounded heart of sorrowful, aspiring thus to feel alive, embedded deep within. Okay. Just kidding. Alright. Okay, why can we not leave? Did I break it? Did I break the game? I think I might have broke the game. I decided to go there. Hey, I fixed it. Never mind. Talk to Moth. Hey, you are back. Interesting. To what do I owe the pleasure? Moth was still at the very place I first stumbled upon him. I asked him about Slim. He approved he was a human before turning into an entity and said he can't leave the house until he gains enough strength. He is an entity, a former human transformed after his death in accordance with one of the two possible outcomes. Unlucky. Most entities are granted higher intelligence, yet unable to leave their transformation place until gaining enough strength.
Hi, Queenie.
Hello, welcome in, Nate, welcome in. I decided to leave. Oh, I can go to the next place. How are you doing today? I admit it, I'm scared, but the fear subsides at once as I'm confronted with something new. I'm not crazy. I don't understand what's happening, yet all this whining is not what I'm supposed to write down. I have to record only those things I want to remember and focus on. The events happening to me that may be worth attention. But how can I even be sure that any of this is real? I see things that simply cannot be. Maybe it's the fatigue, or more likely another trick this damn place has for me. But my head spins and it only gets worse. Weirdly enough, the surroundings look as usual, just awfully repetitive. At some point, a fox hastily crossed the path and, surprised by my presence, dropped a small wooden sign behind. I decided to pick up the sign. But as I walk closer, it somehow appears to be even further away from me than before. One couldn't possibly handle such a rapid change of perspective without falling. Nothing unusual here. This area is very similar to all of the previous thickets. I tried getting the sign again, ow, but wasn't successful all the same. It kept drifting away with each attempt to reach it, and then the idea came to my mind. Instead of walking towards it, I started walking backwards, and the sign actually drew nearer. Close enough to see what was written on it, a set of numbers, 23, 15, 18, 4. I decided to look around. I couldn't. The around was escaping me, shifting and receding constantly with every step. I braced myself and hurried forward. It was easier to do while looking down rather than to the skies. Okay. Hey, are these apples? I was nearly knocked off my feet with fear by the sight of countless clusters of glowing orange eyes emerging from every surface before me. I immediately thought of a large gathering of moth lookalikes ready to lash out at me, and the idea gave me the shivers. Except those were only perfectly round mushroom caps, all facing me no matter where they were, or where they were growing from, thus with no stipes visible to distinguish them as such at first glance. And they were, in fact, growing everywhere. Some exploded from my steps. The air was musty, probably because of the spores polluting it. I didn't know if those were dangerous, but I thought it would be best to find something to cover my face with before exploring. I decided to take a photo, search the place anyways. Decided to look around for a bit, but didn't find anything except for the mushrooms. I believed they could come in handy, but I really shouldn't have stayed there any longer. My thoughts were progressively becoming more and more clouded. Oh god. When I started to collect them, my mind went completely blank. The next thing I knew, I was lying face down, slightly away from the path, where there were none, and without any in my backpack, too. I really should find a way to protect myself from the spores. Balls. There's no indicator, and I can't go forward. I decided to take a photo. The roots of massive trees, their trunks, as well as the ground are all dotted with mushrooms. I doubt there's anything else that could be useful. I left. Onwards! It was no easier to cross the next one either. First, my attention was caught by the gurgling sound coming from puddles of black, viscous liquid flowing down from the tree trunks from somewhere above. Their branches were almost leafless, yet made the sky barely visible. I decided to refill the bottle, taste the liquid. Decided to refill my water bottle with the liquid so that later I could examine it more closely in a spare moment. Who knows what use I could find for it. I decided to leave. I left. I want to get to the lake so I can get the souls. As I approached the lake, I heard a guttural roar behind me, rapidly growing louder as it got closer. It hit me then that I had completely forgotten to consider the water might attract not just animals, but deadly predators typically found in large forests. I spun around only to confirm my chance to act carefully and avoid getting hurt more than I deserved was blown. A huge bear was charging straight at me. I decided to freeze on the spot, shoot it, jump away. Maybe freeze? Oh, nope. I froze. But instead of being crushed, I was only harshly pushed aside. The bear ran past me, dived straight into the water, and disappeared under its surface after a few seconds. The scene shook me. That all felt like a distant memory, hastily fading away even then. Decided to take a photo. Nothing seems off here. I have no idea what could have lured the bear in. And what about souls? Could humans be susceptible to the thing as well? I feel fine for now. Okay, I thought that must have been the lake the little demon was talking about. I walked up to the water and felt my backpack grow heavy. One of the vials has changed. Was a soul captured in it? I wasn't sure. I didn't do anything to make it happen. I knew nothing about it then. I examined the vial closely. I'd expected it to be filled with something glowing, or at least light in appearance, but its contents were pitch black and smoky, reminiscent of the silhouettes surrounding me, which had vanished before I could catch a clear glimpse of them. I decided to capture more souls. I searched for more, and there were none left. Perhaps I could return here later. Both LD and Slim appeared eager to get their hands on them. And if they really know how to escape this place, maybe I should give this one away to... Since when do I listen to some beings beyond my comprehension anyways? Relying on a crazy old man's help doesn't seem an appealing option to me either. And that damn moth, what's his problem? I already spent too much time wandering around. I have to make up my mind now. As I turned back, I noticed something on the ground. It wasn't there before. Thank you for playing the demo. It was merely a glimpse into the game's concept and core mechanics. We wouldn't want to spoil all the fun now, would we? In the full release version of Contra, Spem, Spero, you can look forward to all existing locations to explore and revisit, routes to choose from, more characters to meet, various new dialogue themes, solvable puzzles in all their layered glory, even more opportunities to make questionable life and death decisions, and of course, so much more. Find a way out of the forest. Oh, cool. So that was the demo for Contra Spem Spero. It is a visual novel. Demos with you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I appreciate every single one of you, new and old faces that hop in the chat to chit chat with me or just lurk. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Make sure that you guys are drinking your water, eating your food, and taking care of yourself. If you need anything, I will be over on my Discord. We have self promo if you guys are also streamers and want to show off your links. And it doesn't matter what platform you stream on. Let's see what else. I think that's all I got for now. Tomorrow is Friday. We will be doing more games and stuff. I don't know if it's going to be ghost games or if it's going to be competitive games. We will see. But other than that, let's raid out. We have someone that I've been following for a little while called Terror EXE. I found them on TikTok. They're a small streamer trying to grow. As usual, thoughts, opinions, words, not a reflection back on me. I don't know these people personally or well enough to give proper, like, this is my bro or gal or person. But I'm just trying to support other small streamers. And I hope you guys enjoy. They're playing Diablo right now. If you want to hang out and show some love, show some support. But other than that, that is all I got. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.